Trailer park economics. Poor people live in trailer parks. Poverty is a measure of assets. Trailers and old cars are not worth much, so those who own these things are poor. But poverty is not an absolute but dynamic state. People are not poor because the value of their fixed assets is low, they are poor because of their income to expense ratio. The poor person spends his income on consumables, whereas the rich spend only a fraction of their income on living expenses and the rest is invested. The plight of poor persons is referred to as living hand to mouth. As fast as money is earned, it is consumed. The wise of the world will tell you that to get rich one has to delay consumption, put some money aside, invest. For a lot of poor persons, this advice spells death. The money they earn is needed to maintain life. A windfall may mean little more than the ability to finally buy some new clothes to replace those which are getting threadbare. The rich have a large portion of their income available to invest, that is, things that are not consumed. The poor do not have a surplus that can be invested on durables. Without being able to accumulate capital, the poor cannot borrow. This exacerbates their problems. Because they cannot buy a good car on credit, their money and time is exhausted in maintaining a depreciated asset. The same goes for the rest of their belongings. Regardless of their age or state of repair, the possessions of poor persons must be maintained because buying new is not an option. We can call this the cycle of poverty. Not only is the child raised to maturity in a condition of scarcity, but the family also continues to purchase things that have already been depreciated beyond their useful lifespan. But poverty is not the main cause of poverty, despite the experts insisting this is the problem. If poverty was the problem, money would be the solution. Were poverty the problem, wealth would not exist. Poverty has not prevented many people who are now rich from getting wealthy despite their humble beginnings. However, the exception makes the rule. These exceptional persons usually had exceptional talents, and often they had exceptional luck. As inspiring as the story of Oprah Winfrey is, it is not a model anyone to follow or an algorithm that makes success a rote process. How many tens of thousands of persons practiced as hard as those who gained elite status, yet fell short of their goals? Exceptional talents are not good models to follow. Too many young people have made the elite of sports and music their heroes. Exceptional persons with exceptional good fortune are the exception, not the rule. We need solutions for the rest of us. Even if anyone could be president, elections happen only once every 4 years and cost an astronomical sum. The reality is the probability that a particular person will become president is infinitesimally small. We cannot all write top 10 songs or win Olympic gold medals, but there is always something we can do, at a modest scale. A rock star writes a song valued by millions. He took something of little value and turned it into something with greater value. This is something we can all do, if not on the same scale. We need not aspire to the success of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Sam Walton, or others. We can succeed at the level of a child with a lemonade stand. We can find something of little value and improve it. People may dismiss what children do as small scale and of little value. But this misses the point. Everyone who starts something starts small. It is not where one starts to create value, it is where you end up. Not even billionaires started their careers as a global corporation. Most started in basements or converted garages. This being said, there is a problem outstanding. We all understand the issue, if only subconsciously. When we start a business, no matter how small, we compete for the most scarce of all resources, money. Poor people are poor because they are poor competitors. Poverty is about not knowing how to win at getting money. This is why we scoff at setting up a lemonade stand or singing on a street corner. We know we cannot compete for the available money supply doing these things. Rich people can access the world's money supplies, poor people cannot. Their access to money is limited compared to rich people, and so poor people remain poor. This lack of access can be and is blamed on race and other factors, but the real reason why some people cannot get access to the money supply is that they are not value generators. Poor people do not just lack access to money, they do not have the means to multiply money. Money has to inflate. The lives of poor people tend to deflate the value of money more than inflate it, which is why they are not permitted to access it. Some call the inflation of money debt. Debt creates inflation because debt is interest paid on top of principal. Economists say this depresses the value of money. This is true for the debtor, not for the creditor. Interest steals value from the economy, and value is attached to real things. Debt is the systemic theft of economic value from the real property in the economy. This is why so many persons are involved in creating debt, but as the rich have stolen all of the economic value from poor persons that they can, there is no reason to put the poor in debt. Nothing is left to steal, and so it is counterproductive to loan money to them. When the bank lends you money to buy a new car, they are systematically stealing from you the value of a new car. In 10 years, you will have less capital than you have now, all things remaining equal. Because the value of a trailer depreciates, you need more money to replace it. But the trailer you have is too old to sell for what a new trailer will cost you. Poor people tend to sit on their depreciating assets until the banks and other lenders have stripped all value from them. Most poor people end up with nothing but their labor. But labor is also a depreciating asset. One has about 40 years to accumulate wealth sufficient to retire on. In short, it is very hard for poor people to access money and therefore the things needed to make money. If you cannot get sufficient money to start a business, it is partly because your neighbors cannot get the money needed to patronize your business. Poverty, in this sense, breeds poverty. It makes little sense to start a business in a place where people live below the poverty line. But consider this. You may live next door to a mechanic who needs his roof repaired, and he may live next door to a handyman who needs his car fixed. Because neither has $60 cash or credit, neither can help the other. To fully understand the problem and how to solve it, we must correct a lie. Money is not one thing but two totally different things. Money is a unit of account, but money is also a medium of exchange. No doubt you were taught to believe these definitions refer to the same kind of money, but they do not. A medium of exchange is a monetized asset. In other words, property has been transformed into a commodity produced in multiples of itself or denominations. A medium of exchange is an asset that has been digitalized so it can be used to facilitate trade. This kind of money is a store of value. A means of exchange is a product that can represent any sale and any purchase. Money is a unit of account, as inches are a unit of length and kilos are a unit of weight. We do not buy units of length, weight, or distance or any other units to measure distance or weight. Why do we purchase units of account? To measure the value of a purchase. When gold is the medium of exchange, the best investment I can make is to bury a large can of gold coins in my backyard. The fewer coins I spend, the more valuable they become. Scarcity drives up the value of any commodity, and when the commodity is also the means of exchange, the pressure on price is multiplied. The highest possible price of gold will be achieved when no one with gold spend their gold coinage. Taking all coinage out of circulation to increase scarcity leaves us with an economy with no means of exchange and a coinage so valuable no one will spend it. The economy needs a unit of account, not a means of exchange. Units of account permit accounting and enables accounts to be reconciled. Without a true unit of account, we have inflation and a steady erosion of value of debtors' assets. This is why a medium of exchange is preferred by banks and other huskers over units of account. The accounts of the market cannot be reconciled, the value of the currency is always fluctuation. Debt can be passed down to society and future generations. It is not difficult to find a way to add value to assets. What is hard is to make this a multiplier of value. Without the ability to inflate money, banks and other creditors will not invest. A unit of account monetary system only means accounts are contained in a ledger maintained by a third party. For the sake of this discussion, we will call the accounting unit a prefer. This is a contraction of preferred shares and is designated by the symbol. The accountant or ledger keeper is an entity referred to as Trailer Park Enterprises. Each participant receives a membership in the enterprise, and this membership comes with an account in Trailer Park Enterprises, TPE. When you help a member, your account is credited prefers. When you receive help, your account is debited prefers. The reverse is true for the member whom you assist or who assists you. There is no shortage of units of account, because prefers measure the value taken and the value given in prefer units. It is up to each person what they take and give. If you help someone to the value of 500.00, 500 units of account are credited to you. Prefers can be transferred to the account of anyone who helps you to pay them for what they do. Thus, there is no risk. Credits can always be spent, and debits can always be liquidated. There are always people to help, and there are always things we need help with. The mechanic can always find cars to fix, and the cleaner can always find things to clean. We do not need to be exceptional to make money or add to the units of account we have.